I never know how to introduce it.
Well, I'm great at introducing them, so the pressure's on you now, lad.
Hi. There we go. That's it. I never know how to fucking introduce them. I do it on my podcast. I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
How do you intro a podcast? Other than we're gonna waffle for about an hour. Hope you enjoy.
You know, quite frankly, we've made it to 6 of these.
That is incredible, including one bumper Christmas special. Which was that got views. Like people enjoyed it as well.
People what? Like I've checked.
My mum watched it.
Did your mum watch it?
Yeah, she said it was banging. She was like, really enjoyed it.
Oh, you enjoyed it? Things like, yeah, people like, I've checked the analytics. People genuinely watched
really liked it.
The full 2 hours 30. Why?
My mum went for a bath and she came down. She was like, do you know what? I just listened to your podcast while I was in the bath. Really good. I was like, thank you.
Lovely stuff.
Love it.
Thank you.
As is tradition on this lovely podcast, we try a drink. Now, if you cast your mind back to episode 4,
I think it was.
Was it episode 4 I tried the
So what it was in episode 3, I believe, because obviously we do this thing where we try drinks. So you got a version of this can, which you said was guava.
It was guava. And then we looked up guava for like 10 minutes.
Then episode 4, when we filmed at mine,
yes,
we went to the shop and got
that is right.
Rubicon, kind of like fruity,
what was it called?
natural energy drink.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was
called. But I really like that one.
Rubicon Raw. That's
Rubicon
Raw.
Christ. So now I've decided to join his train and get a different Rubicon. I've gone for passion fruit.
Go on, I'll let you.
Sorry, I'm just gonna. So I went for passion fruit because I am a very mango passion fruit type guy. I've got to admit. While I'm drinking this, did you see KSI and Logan Paul are having their little little drinks company?
Yeah, what's that about?
KSI was like, oh yeah, I'll be in Tesco, Asda.
That was so weird. Like, cause they put a thing on Instagram of them two, and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be a fight, it's gonna be another fight, it's gonna be something like confrontational, and then they were like, no, we're just selling drinks. Is it good?
Sick.
I'm not as confident about mine because it's lychee, and I don't know what a lychee is, James.
When I do these, I go for
is a lychee?
I go for actual drinks.
I go for the fuck is a lychee. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Right, it's a grape and a strawberry.
What?
It's a grape and a strawberry.
This is mental. That's the kind of thing. If you see in some sort of forest, you think that's definitely poisonous. If you see them, you're going to think you're about to die. There's no way this is nice.
But go back to the KSI Logan Paul drink thing. If you told me 5 years ago that KSI that I could buy something that was owned by KSI as part of my Tesco meal deal, I'd have told you to fuck off. I'd have genuinely told you to fuck off. So that's mental.
This is very nice.
It's
really good. It's like summer fruits. That's what it tastes like. It's like a summer. It tastes like the Summer Fruits Oasis.
Oh, really?
Fizzy. That's exactly what it tastes like. So you know what?
Rubicon is slowly impressive.
They are.
I've tried 2 Rubicon.
I've tried 3, and you know what? I'm impressed. I can give that a 9 out of 10. I think that might be my favourite one I've tried. It's subtle.
I feel guilty giving this such a high. 9.5. I think nothing can be 10 out of 10, but that has the passion fruit flavour. It's sparkling, but not like, oh my god, the back of your throat's dying sparkly. Lovely flavour. It feels refreshing.
I love that.
What more could I want?
Banging. Get yourself a Rubicon.
Get yourself a Rubicon.
Although, if there ever was going to be a sponsor, Rubicon would be up there.
Not sponsored. Please sponsor.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, but we're also not sponsored by them for legal reasons. So, just saying.
Just, read into that what you will.
No, before I used to say that all the time on my channel. I used to go, make of that what you will. What does that even mean? So,
when you can't think of how to end a sentence, you just go, make of that what you will.
Shut up. So, I was saying to you before we started recording.
You were?
We were talking about the Christmas episode, and it was quite well received.
Good.
Now, my mum watched that podcast.
Okay.
The Christmas episode, the whole thing. She went for a nice relaxing bath a couple of days after Christmas.
What, for 2.5 hours?
And she's like, if she goes for a bath, she goes 4-way bath. She'll be in there just chilling.
Fuck your skin.
And she comes out like a little wrinkled, Raisin.
I've said nothing about you in this.
I have. She might even watch this one.
She probably...
Hello.
She can sit through 2.5 hours. She can sit through 45 minutes.
How you doing?
Hello, you're right.
And she has some feedback for us, James. Or some comments based on that.
Did she mention
episode.
the
So, the first one is a very mum thing to say.
Okay.
She said, you and James swear a lot.
I fucking do. I really do.
She has said, maybe you should try thinking of other words and not swearing.
I do swear quite a lot.
We do swear quite a lot.
I think I'm worse than you.
I think
unless...
you are. I think you swear more than me, but the words I say are worse.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be like, fuck. And I'll just I'll go 30 minutes without swearing, and I'll just go, ha, cunt. And then it'll be like, whoa, hang on. So, yours is like a steady stream, but I say whoa, they're like, oh, whoa.
You know what? I'll take that on board.
She did say try and get as far through a podcast as you can without swearing, but we fucked that.
We have literally fucked that.
Now this is more of a defence from her. So you remember we're having the conversation about her cooking Christmas dinner, and how I said about the one year she did Jamie Oliver Christmas. It's all really nice.
Yeah.
She was proper defensive about this. She was like, it's really nice, but then she never did it again. Now she has said, and I quote. My phone's turned off. Hang on. She has said, and I quote, that me and my two brothers said to her after that year, "You're not going to do all that rubbish again this year, are you?" So that's why she didn't do it. She wanted to make that very clear.
Fair enough.
So sorry, Mum.
Sorry.
We'll watch our language.
Yep.
Please do the Jamie Oliver Christmas stuff next year. It was very nice, and I'd appreciate it massively.
Doesn't affect me either way, to be fair.
No.
Was there any other notes or bits of feedback?
I think that was... she did... She was just talking about how there were certain parts, like how I compared bread sauce to cum. She wasn't best impressed by that. Because she made the bread sauce, and so I compared it to cum. And she wasn't really impressed, but, you know...
What a son you are.
We'll get her on at some point.
Come on, feel free. So
yeah, there's our first ever feedback for the podcast.
Honestly, right. Applications in the comments if you want to do a session like that, as serious or as jokey as possible. Put it in the comments. Instagram, Twitter messages.
Either of us or the Mediocre account.
We want you to do something like that, make it as funny or as serious as possible.
And we will read it out.
That would be funny.
And if we get it, we will read them out at the start of the episodes and
try
and adjust it accordingly.
So episode 7, we need to make it...
We need to not say cum.
I was going to go family friendly, PG clean. You just straight in there with, we need to not say cum.
Well, okay, yeah. Next episode, because this one's in the bin already, isn't it?
This one's in the shitter.
Next episode, we'll try and make it as PG as possible. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No, it's actually not going to happen, is it?
It's not.
It'll be fine. So we wanted to try and make this a New Year's kind of special episode. But obviously there's not as much to talk about New Year's as there is Christmas, so bear with us. And what'll happen? There'll be tangents and stuff.
There'll be tangents. Might be a wee little shorter than usual, or if we basically get through half hour and there was nought to talk about in terms of New Year, we'll probably just make this a regular episode.
Yeah. Well, a bit of New Year at the start.
I put on a cool T-shirt today. I don't think I've ever shown it to a YouTube camera.
Okay. Have I seen it?
Maybe.
Okay.
But basically, it's cool. It has nothing particularly thematic to do with today, but it's cool. Oh, get me nipples out first, lads. When anyone puts on a T-shirt and puts it in a jumper.
That's very cool. Oh my god. Okay, that's very cool. I love that.
Basically, what it does is I'm just gonna put my nipples to camera now.
Nipples to camera. You're very normal.
So it's very it does
that's
the
really nice.
words theme tune. It's got like dum ba dum dum ba dum 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 dum.
Sounds good, isn't it? Luckily, no one else is in this flat until next week because they'd probably hate us.
Fuck them. I've done it again.
James, come on.
I've got to try and not
use expletives.
Expletives.
That is a very nice T-shirt, James.
Thank you very much.
Well done. 10 out of 10 on the T-shirt.
How was your New Year this year, lad?
Pretty mediocre. Mediocre. There we go. branding.
What were you up to?
So, back at the hometown, you were busy. Fabian, you know Fabian. He was up in Manchester doing stuff up there, performing.
Very well done.
And I was invited out for New Year's by some other mates. Paul, we know Paul, he's been on my podcast. Like Paul, Ryan, JJ, that lot. And I was going to, and then I figured out, you know what? I actually can't be bothered. Like, I'm just going to stay in and just sort of chill a bit. Because, like, I found, like, the sort of last half of the first bit of uni quite intense.
Yeah.
Like, all the assessments and essays and everything. I've been like, so I thought, you know what? We'll take this time to just chill, relax. And it was very nice. We did a massive buffet. Like, my mum cooked up loads of different buffet food. And
was it Jamie Oliver?
It wasn't. But it was the great. Like, anything you want from a buffet, it was there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking like a kids. Like, there were chicken nuggets.
Oh, well,
there were chips. There were crisps. Everywhere we had party rings, like chocolate things. It was all going on. Amazing.
Proper like end of term.
Oh yeah. And it was done at like 3:00, so you could just graze on that from 3:00 till whenever you wanted.
Lovely.
I was there at 9:00. Me and Harvey just scranning sausage rolls. It was brilliant. Obviously drinks. So I still had me, my dad, and my younger brother played some board games. And we had this rule where we were playing like Guess Who, Battleships, you know, the classics. And whoever lost had to roll. Have I got the dice? I do. Had to roll this dice that I got for Christmas.
Okay.
Which is a drink dice.
Ah.
So it's got like no drink. It's got 3 sips. It's got so my dad lost 3 games in a row of Guess Who.
Yeah.
So we had to roll the dice 3 times, and he got have a shot each time.
Yeah.
And I got to choose the shot. Now, for Christmas, I bought my dad a bottle of whiskey, but it was a cinnamon-infused spiced whiskey, so very Christmassy. So I made him 3 shots of that. He said it was the worst thing to shot because it's got like a spice to it, so like hits you right in the back of the throat. He said it was mental. So that was quite fun, making my dad have 3 shots, and it was just a nice chill sort of family relax. My mum was asleep. My mum cannot stay up past. My mum's one of those people that like go to sleep at 9, wake up at 11:30 for the fireworks, and then go back to sleep.
And the
fireworks were shit as well. I was watching. I was like, "What is this? Yeah. I can't." Yeah, I just turned them off after 10 minutes. I thought this is ridiculous.
Not happy.
No, they used to be amazing, and now they're just all fucking CGI. I'm like, what?
As far as I knew, there weren't because I swear it ticked over till midnight.
No, it was all CGI.
CGI.
They just they did a combination of showing last year's and put like computer generated light shows in. I was like, what is this? If you're not gonna do it, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Show me Big Ben and then bugger off. I don't care. Like,
put that on a t-shirt. Show me Big Ben, then bugger off.
When we start doing merch, we're gonna have so.
We just hunt the top 100 quotes of the Mediocre.
We'll do a book. A quote book.
Show
Show me Big Ben, then bugger off.
Merch and money.
There we go.
Love that.
I quoted the day. Show me Big Ben, then bugger off.
Lovely.
What about you, James? How was your? Because I know we spoke on the Christmas podcast that your festive season, I think as we said to it at that time, was in the bin. I believe that's what we said on the podcast.
It went fine. New Year was quite funny.
Okay.
Now I have a story, and luckily none of those none of those people in the girlfriend's family will watch this.
Okay.
So I can say whatever I want.
Oh dear me.
So and she'll my girlfriend will watch this, and she'll probably hello, you're right. She probably won't like me exposing her film. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So on New Year's, I went round to their family, which was fine. It was I was a little worried because we kind of went on a little bit of a break, and then obviously we kind of got back together a little bit. You know,
what do you mean?
So we went, and then that's kind of the first time I've seen our extended family since there was that kind of little iffy period,
Blip, if you will.
So that's but it all went well. So and then there in that big place they have like a conservatory. It's kind of like the younger ones of the family kind of went there. So it was like me, her, the cousin and her partner, and then another cousin. Now,
how old is all the cousins in this?
So the cousins, they're probably about everyone's early 20s or in my case 19.
Okay.
So we're not there's no one children in their family is young.
Amazing.
Yeah, literally because young children. So basically a lot of that extended family, or at least for a while, didn't like one person.
Right.
Who happens to be the cousin who has a partner.
Okay.
And I'm telling this story really badly.
No, I got it.
My girlfriend basically, in a way, turns to me and him and goes, I can't remember how we got this conversation. It goes, well, you two are both in the doghouse. And she turns to me.
Who said this?
My girlfriend.
Okay.
And we're like in the doghouse in terms of the family, because she turns to me and goes, obviously we had that thing. And then turns to the cousin's partner and goes, she's had quite too many at this point, and goes, no one in the family really likes you.
Happy New Year! Jesus Christ.
The cousin and the partner storm off, leave the house. We play board games with the extended family, see the new year in, bish bash bosh. My new year is eventful.
It's in the bin.
It's in the bin.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Girlfriend. Who I'm going to keep referring to as girlfriend until she gives me permission to use her name on the podcast.
You've already used her name on the podcast.
Have I used her name on the podcast?
One of the first episodes.
Fair enough. I'm going to continue not saying her name. If you don't like that, text me and tell me off. She probably will text me and then tell me off after that point.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed that. Quite embarrassing
That was a good
story.
No, I'm glad we got that. That was
mental. For that solo obviously, because then I also felt a bit awkward being just called out for being in the doghouse in front of other people.
Yeah.
So that was all a little bit awkward.
No, that doesn't sound great, James. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
That would make me want to die.
Yeah, I did feel a little bit like. Luckily, I was already in the corner, so I could already kind of like curl into the corner and commit. But like, you know,
that doesn't sound ideal. If I'm being honest,
it wasn't. But we persevered, and it's 2022.
Yay! Woo. So is that what's your like traditional new? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Well. The thing that happens most often is me and the three close members of my family, as in the people I live with, my family, so mum, dad, sister. We will drive to my dad's parents.
Okay.
Those three went this year. I couldn't because I had to work New Year's Day. Love that.
Big up.
Big up. No, not big up, bastards. So usually all four of us would go. We'd kind of we'd probably go on the 30th and like leave on like the 2nd.
Cool.
So like full days on New Year's Eve and day. So we'd probably go out for a morning. My grandparents, they love like I presume this is just what the older generation did, but they love just like specific moments for like a collective hot drink. I don't know. So for example, it's kind of like very scheduled in terms of like, you do breakfast, you go into their conservatory, we all have a round of hot drinks.
Right. So everyone has them at the same time.
Yeah, we'll go up and get ready for the day, and then for example, on New Year's Eve, our morning activity would likely be walk to some form of coffee shop and have a collective hot drink.
I see. No, I think that's what old people. My grandparents like that. I think that's just how it is.
That sounds bad, but then we come back.
Have a hot drink?
Have a collective hot
There's a lot of bloody fluids going on here, James.
There is a lot of bloody fluids.
The bog must be fucking mental.
The bog overflows quite often.
That's not what I meant.
And then I think on New Year's, because I'm trying to, not just tell the story of my cups of tea on New Year's Eve.
As entertaining as that is.
So then we'd probably, whack out the Monopoly, maybe for a bit. I should put that on my podcast notes. Monopoly tactics. How do you win Monopoly?
I'll do that. Let me chuck that on the.
Thank you very much.
Waffle for a bit more, and I just.
But I won't talk about that. There. Usually I'll win because I'm a Monopoly elite.
I can't spell Monopoly. I just put an I in Monopoly.
You know what? What we should do for one podcast is just play a 2-player game of Monopoly whilst doing the podcast.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Just like yeah. There'd be rage though.
Yeah, I'd be fuming.
We should do a board game special.
The problem with Monopoly is that most people have like a rough idea of the rules, and then there are people who play.
Yeah, well, I think because like you play Monopoly with like your family and that, and you have these rules that have just sort of come about somehow. You play it with other people, and they're like, "Well, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the rules." They're like, "Well, I don't think it is." And everyone has their own like variant of Monopoly. It's really weird.
Because I swear once I was like playing with friends in jail, and I was like, "Oh, sick! You've landed on my property," and they were like, "No, I don't give you money. You're in jail."
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
And me and my family are like, "Oh yeah, we're still."
No, you can't collect money.
Apparently, you can't collect money if you're in.
No.
That
Well, the other thing when it asks for like you get like a chance or a community chest like that, and it says like doctors fee or anything like that. The money goes into the middle of the board where you land on free parking. You get the money.
Yeah.
People get baffled by that.
Like, we do that.
I thought that was the rule, and people are like, "No, that's just like."
What does free parking mean?
Yeah, I said it, and they're like, "Oh, it just means you don't have to do anything." Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Why would you have a space where you do fuck all? Grow up. Get a whole. Get a grip. I'm glad you agreed that you put money in the middle and then take it on free parking.
Well, we'd usually put the money on actual, like, as in, like, we leave the notes on free parking itself.
Right. Yeah, we just chuck it in the middle because it usually get a massive pile of those.
But, you know, same concept.
Yeah.
But, you know, if that's the thing we're quibbling over, then it's not really much of a quibble.
No, but I'm glad that you've agreed that because people... There's a rule where if you land on a property that isn't owned, you have to either buy it or auction it. And I'm like, what are we doing there? Like, apparently that's the official rule.
That is what we do.
What?
Yeah.
You can't just leave it and go, oh, I'd rather not.
So if you... I think our family does it because it makes the game a little bit quicker. Because if people just left it, it'd be... Hello, my loves. You used to clean the shower trap.
I got that. Am I going mental?
I think you did. Do you want to...
Bear with it. Just because I'm in this flat alone until Sunday.
Yeah. Well, evidently not, but you know.
Well,
people sleeping here. So Monopoly's fun. You know, I think what we'll do is we'll do a full podcast on Monopoly, or you know, have a decent long Monopoly chat in the next one instead of, you know, New Year'sing it on it. But basically, we play Monopoly on New Year's. All good.
All good. Someone might... Oh, if my tripod's in, I'm going to bloody kick off big style. I've been waiting for a tripod to be delivered. And the way it works in uni, it gets delivered, and then the uni have to tell you they've processed it to give to you. It is! For fuck's sake. Well, that's not helpful.
We'll go get that between the filming of this podcast and the video.
I don't need it for the video, because I'm using my webcam. This is ridiculous. Right. Anyway.
Fuming.
Calm down now.
So, then... I know, like, you know, like, so for example, in the evening, we'll have booked a meal out. They'll even pay for taxis so everyone can drink.
Whoa.
And also, at that point, there'd be 6 people, so there'd be 2 cars. So, for example, you could probably... Because, for example, my mum doesn't drink.
Right.
Not because of problem, because she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So, for example, she could, for example, take 5 of us, but then when there's a 6... But it's kind of like...
A lot of happening.
And then there isn't enough drivers that can take everyone.
Yeah.
So we just do taxis, sod it.
Yeah.
But, right, I know everyone needs to get ready, and if you're going for a meal out, feel free to, like, get ready. My grandparents will have, like, right, we need this period of 2 hours. I'm thinking, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Have a shower, whack some clothes on.
Like, I will literally be there for, like, you know, I'll take, you know, hop in shower, dry myself, maybe, you know, like, sort my hair out, pick out my clothes, and then I'm literally there for like an hour and a half just like...
What do we do now?
YouTube? Like, you know, it's a bit like...
It's a bit mental. How you need that? Oh, almost died, but didn't.
So, you know, earlier I mentioned, you know, the drinks breaks. So not only was there, you know, another sit down cup of fucking tea
in the hour and a half
after Monopoly, then what they do? Bearing in mind our taxi, not even the table. I'm starving, and the taxi's booked for like fucking like 8 o'clock.
I know how angry you're getting about this.
So I'm there like I'll probably order at 9 o'clock to get my starter. Like, fucking 9. It's like midnight soon. I just want to get.
That's the time I go into the kitchen to get fucking bowl of cornflakes at half one. I don't want my fucking starter.
But obviously,
Jesus
you know.
Christ.
So once everyone's got ready, we'll go sit in the conservatory again.
Have a hot drink?
No, not a hot drink. Everyone will pour themselves a drink, and like the old fucks, they get themselves like a martini because they're just like
Quite like a martini.
Yeah, not like a nice like espresso martini, just like a actual martini, which is just like
that espresso martini we had in lemon twist. That was bloody mental.
Salted caramel espresso martini.
I think we really annoyed the guy that we kept asking to play songs though on the.
We were quite gone at that point.
That was we'd been to the Bearded Brewery just before, hadn't we? And then gone straight there. We'd had like 3 pints there. That was a good night.
That's fun. I love that.
Big up.
Big up. So then to be fair, after that it's quite a standard. Do the ting. Come back in a taxi. By this time it's like 11:30 already. And then just put your dressing gowns on because at this point there's like loads of like tired people. I was like, well, I've just had food, so I'm kind of like buzzing and ready to go. But yeah, so everyone puts the dressing gowns on, comes, watches TV, sees the thing go. Everyone else is in bed by 12:30.
Fair enough. On dressing gowns. Now, sorry, this is really unrelated. So I have a dressing gown right over here, and it's one I've had for a while. It's a Harry Potter one.
Fair.
And it's really cool, and it's like a proper fluffy dressing gown.
Lovely.
But I'm quite a big guy. I get warm easily. If I've got pyjamas on and this over the top, that's not practical. So I invested in a thin. It's just nice, little thin.
Oh.
Just thought it's very nice, just black, nice thin.
So
just thought I'd show that off.
I got a dressing gown for Christmas this year.
Is this the iconic? Oh no, because you had your iconic red one, didn't you?
That iconic red one is in uni because basically, I can't live without my dressing gown.
I agree.
But not in terms of yeah, I use it to kind of like go into like the kitchen in the morning, like make myself a cup of coffee. But the main reason I find for a dressing gown is what I have and what I asked for this year was a towel dressing gown.
Right.
So it's like made of towel material.
I see.
And it's elite because basically my skin is red as fuck. So I can't really have hot showers, otherwise I'm just going to continue to fuck my skin. So I have cold showers. So I come out of the shower really cold, and instead of bothering with the effort of doing a little Baloo the bear with your towel, I put on the dressing gown, and it's towely, but I don't want to keep having it back and forth between uni and home. So I've got a home one and a uni one.
Literally, my parents got me a new dressing gown for Christmas. It's like a really fluffy one that I've left down there. Then I've got my Harry Potter one up here and the nice thin one.
Do you remember when you used to get exciting presents? And now
that is exciting. What are you talking about?
But now there's an age where we've become boring.
We have.
And ask for dressing gowns for Christmas. We're 19!
No, James, this is cool. I got... Oh, I still got admin. I got like a towel hoodie. So when I go like swimming in the sea or even offshore, I can put a towel hoodie on and dry. We are boring.
We've become boring.
You always joke about, imagine wanting like a dressing gown. Yeah, that's us.
And like, do you ever feel like, I know this is a big tangent, and I might have said this before to be fair, but did you, like at one point you went to the park with your mates.
I never went back.
And you never went back, and you didn't know it was the last time.
I thought of that. That's a bit sad actually. It's kind of depressing.
It's also the thing of, like, one year for Christmas you asked for an exciting Christmas present.
And that's the last exciting But to be fair, I'm still getting excited about the simple Christmas present. Like a dressing gown, I'm living the dream.
I was there thinking, oh. I don't know why I said it like that. Why did I say it like that?
I was there like, ooh. I might make that a short on this channel. I was there like, ooh.
I was there like, whoa. Put it on a t-shirt.
I was there like, ooh.
I was there like, ooh.
Oh my god.
The new year you described, is that your traditional new year, or is that your non-traditional, and therefore what is it?
Because of our good friend COVID, wrecking like 3 years of our lives,
cunty fuck.
I haven't had...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I haven't had a New Year's where I can go out without COVID being a thing. It's like the last normal New Year's was when I was like 16. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to go out clubbing and drinking when I'm 16 because I can't legally. And so like I haven't had a proper New Year's yet. And before that, we didn't really do anything. It was just like, there's the fireworks. Okay. Like I'd go to sleep. My mum and dad would wake me up to watch the fireworks, and then I go back to sleep. So I haven't actually had like a proper New Year's yet. Hopefully next year I can, if COVID does one. That's good English. That's solid.
Because I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but the last New Year's that was non-COVID-y was the one and only New Year's we spent together. Because tell me if I'm wrong, but didn't we go to Fabian's house for a New Year?
Oh my god, we did.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but it was either the one before COVID or the one before the one before COVID.
Yeah, I think it was the one before. Yeah, we definitely... Yeah, you're right.
We did. So...
Yeah, I am wrong.
And to be fair, that's probably the closest I have gotten to a more, like... Not like family New Year, but a more traditional, like, friends New Year. That's the most I've done for a New Year in terms of friends.
No, I completely forgot about that. What I nearly died again.
Mate.
Honestly,
mate. If you're gonna die, just fucking hurry up with it.
Fucking get on with it.
I'm sorry, this joke's getting old now. Stop dying. Either die or live.
There's no in between here, mate.
Literally. Sorry, what coma?
Yeah.
Sorry, you've got 3 options, kids. Live, die, coma.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt.
3 options, kids.
To be fair though, you've got 3 options in life.
Live, die, coma.
Little like checkbox, like
live, laugh, love, but live, die, coma.
Live, die, coma. Look,
there we
fucking
go.
vote in ballot box. What would you like today, sir?
Oh my god.
Coma, please.
Oh my god, that was knackering. Is that New Year's done?
That's New Year's done in terms of what we do in New Year's, but I guess we can talk about New Year's in terms of resolutions.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we
did
both
you completely forget that we could talk about resolutions?
Yeah, so we both put up on our separate channels. If you haven't subscribed to both of our channels, that's fucking ridiculous.
Like, who's going to have found this channel?
No, but like they could be subscribed to me and not you, or you and not me. If you're
let's
subscribed to both of us,
let's face it, they're either subscribed to both of us or you.
That is not true.
That's
don't do yourself like that.
That's definitely
If you're not subscribed to both of us, you can sort that out. They're always in the description, and
cheers, lads.
They're not on the end screen, but they definitely should be on the end screen.
Yeah,
there you go then.
I know these days I've got it set so the Mediocre at Best logo comes up on my personal end screen.
I've got that for the last few videos. I've just had it on the
promotion.
So yeah, we both put sort of New Year's-y videos up on our own channels. I've watched yours.
I've watched yours.
Watched mine.
Yeah, I've watched yours. Yeah.
So do you want to talk through your?
So we.
Are there any you didn't put in the video?
Are there any? Personal, yes. My personal. I don't set personal ones. Yeah. I just have ideas of what I want to achieve. But I was pretty much all. I think I set like specific goals and ideas, but I have lots of general things I'd quite like to do.
I'm the same. Where I set I think 4 goals in the video, but there are so many outside of that I thought there's no point. Like people won't care about them. That's more me. But there are sort of little like not sub goals, but like little goals throughout the year to help me reach my goal at the end of the year. If that makes sense.
Tell me if I'm wrong, and this is probably more memory of my video than yours. Okay. You set 4 specific goals. Yes. I think I was a lot more vague and then set a one specific a subscriber goal.
You sort of went through. I think the way we did it very differently. Where I gave 4 definite goals that I wanted to do, whereas you just sort of said like it was like targets or like things you want to do more than targets you want to reach. Which is then you set your subscriber goal.
So we've both gone for the same subscriber goal, which is ironic, seeing as you're about double my subscribers as far as I know.
Oh, look at this. That's the thing we'd love to see.
Thank you very much.
What a coincidence.
Oh, wow. Fraser Oliver and the Nerdy Bro.
Only I would manage to get a reaction video into a New Year's resolution video. Well in me. Then let's get you up as well.
Yeah. So
you waffle while I sort the admin out.
Well, to be fair, so you set the goal specifically of 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
I went. I kind of almost set 3.
Yeah, you said, what did you say, 7?
So what I said was, I will be genuinely disappointed, and this might sound arrogant, but I will be genuinely disappointed if I can't hit 500.
Oh, you'll do 500. Yeah, that's.
I would be pleased with 750. My ultimate goal for the end of the year is 1,000, but I don't expect it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think 500 you'll do, no problem.
I hope so. I'd quite like.
700 I think you can do no problem. I think the rate you're going, I think we can both get 1,000, James.
I mean, what I set that goal off is, so yes, I'm on less than half of my minimum goal, which makes that goal sound quite arrogant. However, I hit 100 in June.
Yeah.
So that means in half a year, I've gained 125. So that would mean if I continued the same rate of growth, I would gain 250.
Yeah.
You'd like to say over the next year, which means that I'd only have to increase my growth rate by 25 over the entire year, which means even if that does sound a little bit arrogant, and bearing in mind you increase your growth rate, for example, the first half of the year to the second half of the year, my growth rate doubled last year from just comparing the first half and the second half. Not even going the last month was probably better than the 7th month, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, all in all, I think 500 is very reasonable.
I mean, that is that. Oh my god, that's a very similar method to what I used. Only I used far less maths.
Okay.
In that, like, full stop. So my thought was last year I was on 70, and my goal for this year was 200. So I thought, right, I've gained a lot in that time. So I did like less maths than you did, and just sort of rough estimated it, and I got to 1,000, which because I wanted it to be like a nice round number. Because like this year my goal was obviously 200. I then upped it to I think 400. So I like having round numbers. So yeah, 1,000 it is. I think we can both do it. With this helping as well.
I'm gonna say this now. I wouldn't be disappointed in you, but I would be very surprised.
I'd be disappointed in me
if you didn't hit 1,000.
Oh no, I was gonna say if I don't get like 700,
because the mix of the quality of content you're producing at the moment, you've said you wanted to be more consistent, and your rate of subscriber growth at the moment. Because in the second half of the year, you pretty much doubled your subscriber count?
Yeah, I don't think doubled.
Or like,
yeah.
I swear, I swear, like, I saw the tweet that was like, I've hit 300, and then it was kind of like, in a blink of an eye, I swear you've hit 400.
Oh, yeah.
I swear this last 100 has come in 2-3 months?
Yeah, the last 100 has come quite quickly, and I'm hoping that growth does continue, because it then just means I get more. Like once I get to 500, you get community posts. You get the ability to be able to do community posts.
Community posts would be great.
And is that a big thing? No, but it's more engagement, and it's putting you out there more. So that's always a good thing. So
I think for me, polls would be a big thing.
Polls and community posts are the two things.
So what videos are you interested in? Because for example, if I've got so recently, for example, I saw. Have you heard of The King's Man?
Yes.
So that's the third. So I saw that, and I thought it was fucking awful. Okay. I don't care about the swearing in that because that is the best way to describe it. And I was thinking, do I make it like similar to my Encanto one that I did recently and did quite well, but
Good video.
Thank you very much. But I was thinking, do I do a similar format? But then I was kind of like, I don't really think it's that much of a popular topic. So things like that, when you can use like community posts to go, would you be interested in seeing this? Yes, no. you know,
I think that's
be great.
No, I think that's I'm excited to have community posts just because I like getting feedback, and like that's the best way to get feedback, isn't it? If people don't have to click on it; they can just see it there and they just respond to whatever. You said that about obviously you made the video on Encanto, and you don't know whether to make a video on Kingsman. I was like that with Encanto because I watched Encanto.
I saw your short on
that. Yeah. I was just thinking, and that's it. I've been using shorts a lot recently, just sort of see how it goes for about a week now, and that's the best of that because I was like, I don't want to make a 20-minute video on.
I've just seen one of your shorts has like 1,000 views. Fair enough.
I was like, I don't have it in me to make a full video on Encanto because I don't actually care about the film enough to. So I was like, I'll just do a little short of why I haven't made a video because I think the film is and I don't want to make a video on something that I think's because I've got nothing to say about it. I think
now I've had time to think about it, I would echo rather than bad. I think because I loved the trailers and I thought Lin-Manuel Miranda's music is always great. Then when his music ended up being and I got quite frustrated. On reflection, Encanto is rather than bad.
Which is why in my head I was like, I can't bother to make a full video. It's It's all That's why I haven't done it. But yeah,
I think we can both hit those goals. But I think to be fair, one of those things is I've slowly gotten better at consistency in terms of I started off as whenever I can be bothered. Then it kind of went to, it was almost kind of like weekly, but in terms of I stuck with weekly, then maybe missed a week if I just didn't have the content.
Recently it's been good.
Recently it's been more like less than weekly, sometimes nearly 2 videos a week.
It's good.
So, I mean, like 3 days I uploaded. I uploaded the day after as well.
Yeah, look at you.
I'm gonna because I cut out a video. I cut out a decent, like about 2-minute segment in the New Year's video because I thought it was a bit rambly. But the one reason why I'm a bit stressed about YouTube and growth this year is content.
Yeah.
For my channel.
Doctor Who?
Well, mainly, but so last year, musical films everywhere. Yeah. Like, I got boosts off In the Heights, I got boosts off things like Encanto, I got a Dear Evan Hansen reaction that did really, really well. Was
Hamilton?
Hamilton Disney Plus was the year before.
But I think last year it still did very well.
Still did. Hamilton as a topic is these days it's not reliable for a video.
But it used to be. You do a video on Hamilton, that's it. Like.
So this year, I can't think of a big.
I don't think. Well, I mean, Marvel-wise, you don't do a lot of Marvel actually.
I don't do tons of Marvel, and even then, for example, like WandaVision was the most exciting TV show that got them for an episode's ranked thing. Because I've done that for pretty much. I've done that for quite a few things now. That was the biggest by about double.
Yeah.
The next biggest. And there is no. I don't think there's many Marvel shows that have a similar excitement about it that did.
No.
No Doctor Who. There are Doctor Who episodes, but there's only 2 specials, so I can only get 2. Because every time I review a Doctor Who episode, because my trick to that is just getting out, like, as in, like, an hour after the episode's dropped, which just means edit like fuck and do the thumbnail beforehand. But that means that I can only make 2 bang videos of those. So content will be tougher this year, which makes me worry because there are like, for example, like so what I like to do is I like to analyze my success through most popular. So for example, if I look,
oh my god,
if I look at my top 12, so reacting to the first 8 minutes of In the Heights, couldn't do it without In the Heights. Marvel musical, I could. 3rd, In the Heights, couldn't do it. 4th, Dear Evan Hansen, couldn't do it. 5th, debatable, because it is something that's been out for a while, but the Hamilton song ranking did get views because that was around the time it was on Disney Plus first announced. Wicked casting news that can be done. That just shows me I have to be more reactionary to news and see if I can get a banged video out of it. Time fracture sort of like a lot of these things are like reviews of things that happen at time. Like for example, Joseph, you could probably do any time, but for some reason. I think I looked at the thing, a lot of people clicked on it because of Alexandra Burke being in the title, which is poor for them because I criticised her. But
fair enough.
That's the thing.
It's gonna be
if I look at my top 12, there are. I genuinely think. If I look at my top 12, the Marvel musical reaction and the Hamilton song reaction, because I think by that point it's far enough away that the Disney Plus being on it doesn't boost the topic anymore. Those are the only two videos I can genuinely see that are not based on current content being produced.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So I need to find ways of cracking, and it's unfortunately, however dull it is, those two are both reaction videos.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate that reaction videos are like the.
But because the Hamilton reacting to cut Hamilton songs one, I didn't mind that one because that one is more